I'm here to find out where you can't make one of these without one of these. I mean, look at it, absolutely beautiful. Keep watching to find out more. We're here at the Prima Power factory in Turin, right in front of a laser next 3D laser. Now, they've put 40 years of innovation packed into this machine. To me, it's the F1 of laser cutters. Now, Barry, first of all, what sets this machine apart?
So what we've got here, as you've just said, is the ultimate of the technology that goes into our lasers. We have got the flagship machine, so this is the 2 meter by 4 meter capacity machine with a 1 meter stroke in the Z-axis. That means we can get right the way around a 3D part, be it for automotive or any other application where we've got a laser cut a large part. We're using fiber optic technology, which is developed by ourselves. We have got carbon fiber in the machine, we've got synthetic granite, and we have basically got the ultimate of all the technology that comes from Prima Power packed into a really powerful, really fast 3D laser.
And when people think laser cutters, they generally think those kind of flatbed 2D laser cutters, but I've not even seen one of these 3D machines in action until today. So can you just explain to our viewers what is the difference between a 3D and a 2D, just briefly?
So a 3D, basically, a normal 2D machine is for cutting in a flat plane. That's basically what it's for. You've got very, very limited Z travel, that's the up and down travel of the head, and what you're actually looking at on this one is a machine with a 1 meter travel in the Z stroke. This means it can get around a really complex size part that can be for an automotive, as I say, it can be a chamber, it can be any 3D dimensional part where we need to move around in the Z, the X and the Y. We can also on this machine rotate the head itself, so almost like a robot, it can move around the part and make sure that the laser beam and the cutting is orientated to the surface of the part.
So surely with the complex forms, your head is going around in so many different angles, so many different X and Y coordinates. And with a laser cutter, if I remember rightly, it's really important to keep the distance away from the part, keep that laser focused to get a good cut. How do you ensure that you get a good cut on a complex, big 3D form?
So that is down to the programming, the control within the machine, but also the sensor technology on the head. So that's making sure its standoff is always at the optimum from the material. And there are sensors that are built into the laser head as it's travelling around the part to make sure we're maintaining that. And of course the material and the software dictate what that standoff is going to be, and to maintain that as it goes around the part. So we always get a really good, fast, clean, accurate cut.
Because that's what you want, is you don't want to have to be, this is all about high volume but complex parts.
Yes.
You don't want to have to do a secondary operation in deburring.
No, of course
you want to make sure that your first principles are right.
Yes, of course, yeah. So as I say, that's in the setup of the machine, it's in the optimization of the gas, the power that's going into the cut, the standoff, the focus of the actual laser beam itself. They're all part of what the machine does to make sure that when that part comes off, it needs minimal intervention afterwards. It can go straight on to the next process.
So this is all about making as many of those parts as possible.
Absolutely, yeah.
How do you make sure that you can make as many of those parts as possible? Because I see there's like a central reservation here that splits it into two. Why have you got that? Are there different loading options?
There are different loading options. So what you've got there is actually, you see there, as you mentioned, the center wall that divides the main cabin of the machine into two. So in here we have got two 3D tables. We can have the machine running in one side whilst the operator is loading and unloading on the other side. As he's finished loading, unloading, and it finishes the part on that, a section in the wall will drop down, the laser head moves over and starts on the next part, whilst he's then unloading or loading on that side. We can also have these tables that move in and out, so that can be done outside of the machine. If we are in the automotive environment where we have big fixtures, we can have a turntable, one section out, and then it spins round and goes inside the machine. So we are loading, unloading, and optimizing that cycle time. And of course, if we just want something a little bit more basic and we are just one part inside the machine, we can of course remove the wall completely out of it and have one big area inside the machine for cutting.
And that is a massive capacity. So I assume for me, that would be like maybe a big nuclear part or some big oil and gas or energy.
It could be anything like that, aerospace, nuclear, energy, or of course automotive, so any large parts.
And what I find fascinating is these are the kinds of parts. So we've got a tailgate on the left-hand side compartment right now. Why couldn't you cut it on a laser and then punch it afterwards?
But right, the way that a lot of the automotive parts are made is they are hot stamped. So they will be hot stamped basically to get the maximum structural strength out of the steel but on the thinnest possible material.
Trying to save weight.
Saving weight, yes, absolutely. Now, you cannot then go and punch a piece of hot stamped material because it becomes much, much tougher. Laser cutting is really the only solution. So you've created the form, you've created the shape. Now what we want to do is cut the pieces out of it, cut around the periphery and remove the waste, and finish up with the final piece.
And these parts are big, complicated. They're almost like parts you'd almost see a machine tool machining out, like a mold and die part almost. But you're just stamping it and you're just laser cutting it. It's a really quick process.
It's a really quick process, yeah. It's fast and it's efficient.
So for next generation automotive parts, but not just automotive, oil and gas, nuclear, aerospace, check out the Laser Next from Prima Power.